Hey guys, this is Devon from the future here. So for this video, we realized it didn't really have any real direction. So I just wanted to fill you in on what's going on with this video. Since we did the 6.0 swap, Ben has been experiencing a phantom oil leak. He's been adding in an alarming amount of oil before the oil change interval, and it was, alarming. We noticed oil leaking on the exhaust in the backside of the engine, so that was a big red flag right there. There was just an issue with the exhaust. It didn't really sound right. It was hanging down.
Yeah, there was lots of exhaust issues.
Yeah, the fitment just wasn't as good as it was when we first installed it. Once everything got worn in, it just kind of sagged a lot, and he wasn't very happy with the sagging or the sound.
The exhaust leaks.
So
it was loud.
So that prompted him to start looking for a replacement exhaust, and he figured, well, I'm already going to take the car down to find out the oil leak while it's down. Let's go ahead and just do some other maintenance issues that
I can never just do one thing on my car. I always have to do like 10 things to make it worth it to me. And that's just this happening again.
Better than that soon. So yeah, we just wanted to fill you in on that, to let you know what this video is about.
All around finishing up a lot of loose ends.
That's right. So enjoy the video. Thanks again for checking it out, and we'll catch you guys next week.
I don't know if I'm gonna be strong enough to do this one-handed. Okay. Oh shit. Okay, I missed. So, the other day I picked up this brand new Pittsburgh 3-ton floor jack, low profile of course, because sports car life. And I'm going to take it out of the box, put it together if need be, and we'll check it out.
A few moments later.
Got a new jack for our projects. So now that all that nasty exhaust is out of the way, we can move on to pulling apart the rest of the stuff to get the trans out. So first I'm going to take all this out. Got to take the shift ball off. Oh, it's on there good. I'm going to pull this out. Oh, it's all syrupy. This little coin holder thingy comes out. And there's a bunch of 7 mils in the way. A couple 10s. Pretty easy stuff. Boom, that's a shifter. When I undo the transmission mount, all of this will drop down and it'll be able to slide right back. So let's go under the car. Beforehand, really digging on my new electric tools. It's made the job way easier. Let me know if there's any cool tools you guys have that make your lives easier. This has definitely been a plus. All right, before going any further, this is a great time to break loose the drain plug and drain the transmission. I don't know if I'm gonna be strong enough to do this one-handed. Okay. Oh shit. Yeah, I missed. So that Texas rainstorm came on quick. We left off, I just spilled ATF everywhere. It was horrible. There's definitely still a bit of a puddle, but it's not bad. Basically what I did to clean that up was I just cut it real quick with some brake clean, sprayed it all down. It gives it like the consistency of water. And then I came back over it with some rags and some medical gauze that I have. Stuff's good for sopping up blood, and it sops up ATF really well. And I just picked up as much of it as I could, and not too bad. Came out clean enough. So let's carry on, right? Just give it a slight tug back. It's definitely lost a bit of fluid. Crazy. Last night we got the transmission out. As you probably saw, it did that barrel roll, and I commented I hope nothing broke, and naturally something did, but it's nothing too big of a deal. It's just the skip shift solenoid here, which isn't a big deal. Normally I'd have to fix that, and let's just not worry about that. And let's move on to actually pulling out the bell housing and clutch so we can really figure out where this oil leak is. So come on. The bell housing is off. More nastiness, obviously. So now I got to pull the clutch. I'm removing the pressure plate right now. This is kind of a significant moment because if my clutch disc is just completely saturated with oil, it's something I may very well consider replacing. I'm hoping it's not. Got my fingers crossed. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think I'm gonna run this again. I feel okay about that so far. What would you guys do? All right, so I have red Loctite on these flywheel bolts, and they always say you're supposed to use heat. I have always just muscled them off, but I just bought this torch the other day, so I'm gonna give it a shot. I bet these bolts are loose because I'm pretty sure I messed up and forgot to tighten them down. And there is a huge oil gallery that feeds all the lifters right on the other side of this. And with my high pressure pump and everything, if I didn't tighten those down all the way, it could definitely cause an issue, and it would make a lot of sense. Yeah, these really aren't that tight. All right, this rear cover here is actually original to the car, and believe it or not, it feels a good bit heavier. It looks thicker too. Yeah, look at that. There's a pretty substantial difference. I guess we're gonna use this factory one, this factory 98 rear cover. I don't see any reason why that shouldn't work. I don't see any reason why this shouldn't work, but it's not giving me a warm and fuzzy.
This is the new rear main seal in my hand. As you can see right here, it clearly says this side out, so make sure this is the side you have out or facing towards your transmission. And let's cram this sucker in real quick.
So I'm going to tape up a few key areas, and then I'm going to go over it with this heat resistant sleeve that I picked up at the store. It's cut the length, so that should resolve any heat issues I'm experiencing down there. There's a bunch of stuff going on directly behind the starter on the way to the crankshaft position sensor. I probably went a little overboard right here, but there's some there. Come up here also where it loops around, and just tried to do everything I could to prevent heat from just messing up my wires. Is a lower price bracket exhaust. Quality feels pretty good. All the welds seem proper. There's not really any undercutting. Well, a little bit, but it's pretty good. It feels like pretty thick stainless, which is a good thing. A lot of cheaper exhausts will use really thin stuff that creak really bad when it cools down. So this feels pretty solid. So I totally forgot my rubber mallet at work, but I grabbed my 3-pound sledge and wrapped it in blue tape, and I imagine this will work just as well.
now that the exhaust is at a point to where we could leave it, no, it's not perfect, but it is good enough to leave it alone for right now.
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and tackle the ignition coils. Got to get the O2 sensors and their sub harnesses on.
Yes.
And then we got to do the NOx sensor oil change.
And trans fluid and shifter.
All right, and that about wraps it up for the TA's overhaul, and then it'll be back on the road, or ready for a test drive at least.
Yeah, at least a test
can go
fire
from
so
there.
you guys can hear it.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how this new exhaust sounds. Third time's a charm. All right, well, Ben takes care of the O2s down below. I'm gonna be up top taking care of these coil packs. All right, change of plans real quick. This is the current O2 sensor connector. Ben's now got these harness extenders, and you can see it's keyed slightly differently. Currently, replacing the O2 is not really an option, so we're going to make these work. Good old TurboShotIncredible way. Okay, battery died, but the harnesses are done for the RIP O2 sensors. I had to do some custom modding to connect the ports, as you saw, but plugs in just fine. You can see right there, and it's a tight plug too, not going to come loose. All right, so
Flew off the earth.
O2s are ready to get installed. Shifter ready to get installed. Fluids topped off, oil's topped off, and bleed the clutch. And then we are going to let you guys hear it for the first time because we're curious what it's going to sound like. We have no idea.
I'm curious.
Take a minute and like this video so far for watching it because you are awesome. Okay, now back to the video. All right, so I guess I'll get on the plug wires. Those still need to get plugged in. I was doing that last. And
I'm going to work on the O2 sensors, and whoever finishes first can take on the shifter, and then we'll figure out the... yeah. Rolling.
did you connect the ignition? So take two because we didn't unplug the harness on the ignition. So we just did that.
Rolling.
Alright, let's do it.
Like a wet fish.
Folks, TA is back alive. It sounds great, healthy. We're gonna let the engine warm up, make sure there's no leaks, no other issues, and then maybe drive, maybe some sound clips, I don't know. We'll see. We just noticed that this exhaust is not that loud. Now that the engine has gotten warm, you really only hear it like when you're at the back of the car. We'll show you here in a moment. Right now we're just talking, and you can hear us probably pretty good. Yeah, you can only really hear, you know, just miscellaneous engine noise, nothing, not an exhaust. But as you walk down the car, and back here you can hear the exhaust, and it's a sweet, sweet tune. So Ben's been chasing that perfect sound for him that he's been wanting under a budget, and
I'm really happy with how this sounds so far. I can't wait to hear it under load out on the street.
yeah, so far this is the sound. So
my eyes are burning.